Shiloh Hendrix has now spoken out for the first time since this debacle began. And look, folks, it doesn't matter how I feel about it. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. It doesn't look like anyone's opinions are going to stop this train from rolling. And at this rate, Shiloh Hendrix is going to become a millionaire for calling a kid the N-word at the park. Now, I do think that is ridiculous, but I also have to acknowledge that we live in a ridiculous world where for the last few weeks, people have been celebrating the death of a young white kid while raising hundreds of thousands of dollars for his killer, while rubbing it in the face of his family, while harassing his family and spreading nonstop lies. So, do I really agree with the whole Shiloh Hendrix situation? No. But you're not going to see me sit here and waste my time speaking out about it. I don't really, to be honest, I don't really want to hear, I really don't care about anyone's complaints, because for the last few weeks, and you guys know this if you've been watching, for the last few weeks, I have been sitting here day in and day out warning people that, Karmelo raising all of this money for killing Austin, I've been warning people that that was going to open the floodgates to something that no one likes on either side, to something that's not going to be good for our society overall. And now the floodgates have opened. And it just so turns out that Carmelo Anthony supporters aren't really happy about what's happening now that Shiloh is raising all of this money. But look, here's how it's going to go. Right now, everyone's raising money for Shiloh in response to how people raised money for Carmelo. In a few weeks, there will be another Carmelo, and people will raise money for him in response to people raising money for Shiloh. And then a few weeks from then, there will be another Shiloh-like story, and people will raise money for them. And all the while, both sides will be encouraging crazy people to do crazy things because they want to get $500,000 like Carmelo, or they want to get hundreds of thousands of dollars like Shiloh. That's how this situation plays out, ladies and gentlemen. And I've been warning people, but everyone thought it was okay about Carmelo raising the money. Everyone loved it, right? All of Carmelo's supporters loved it. And now, look, now all of them are upset because some lady said the N-word and it looks like she's going to become a millionaire. And to be frankly honest with you, I just don't care. I just don't care after everything that I've seen over the last few weeks. Regardless if I agree or I think this is cool or I think this is wrong, it just doesn't matter. Because we live in a ridiculous world where people are championing on all types of ridiculous things regardless, right? But as I said, Shiloh did speak out, and I want to get to what she has to say. But first, if you like these videos, if you appreciate these videos, consider donating via Cash App or Super Thanks, or consider supporting the channel in a free way, like liking the video, sharing the video on social media, commenting below, becoming part of the conversation, and subscribing if you haven't already. And do not forget to put your notifications on so you can be notified of when I upload videos. But with that being said, let's dive into what Shiloh has to say. Hello, where do I even begin? The overwhelming support that my family and myself have received is unbelievable. I've never felt so scared, yet reassured in my life. It's truly a whirlwind of emotions. We are currently doing okay. No one has been harmed, and we are getting by. We are taking the proper procedures in order to stay safe from these constant threats. I'm still very frightened, and I don't think I will feel safe until we can escape completely. I am so grateful to all of you who have donated to my family. I never would have imagined that we would be supported to such an extreme. It still feels as if it's too good to be true, and it's all going to disappear. It's such a strange feeling to be living in a blissful dream and a nightmare simultaneously. Thank you for all your continuous support and love. We have to keep fighting for the safety of all of our families, not just mine, Shiloh. So I'm really curious to know how you guys feel about this. And has the Karmelo Anthony case affected how you view this situation? Because I'm sorry, well, really, I'm not sorry, but I'm not going to defend an adult calling a child a bad name or any type of bad name at a park. Now, is the kid wrong for stealing from them and doing whatever? Yeah, but I think adults should carry themselves a certain way, okay? But at the same time, I've kind of grown numb over the past few weeks, seeing how people have acted about Austin Metcalf. It makes me completely numb to stuff like this, to the point where I don't even care to really acknowledge that it's wrong to do what this woman did. And I'm wondering if other people are feeling that way, and if that's affecting how they view this story, because in my honest opinion, if it wasn't for Karmelo and Austin Metcalf, none of this happens. None of these donations roll in. This does not turn into a big story. None of that. Like, this is, regardless if people want to acknowledge it or not, I mean, people are openly saying it as they're donating. This is a direct response to the Austin Metcalf case. And I think people's reaction to this story is largely based on everything we've experienced and everything we've witnessed over the last few weeks. I think if this happened before the Austin Metcalf case, some of the same people who are donating would have called it out and would have said, hey, we don't agree with this, we don't like this. But a lot can change in a few weeks. And you have to wonder, where do we go from here? Because things are probably only going to get worse. And as I was explaining earlier, if we keep seeing, like, okay, you call someone a mean name at the park and you become a millionaire. You stab a kid in the chest and you become a millionaire. Like, if we keep seeing stuff like this happening, we're going to see people, you know, we already live in a society with a bunch of freaking psychopaths. I think we can all agree there. We're going to see people try to exploit, you know, certain situations. We're going to see people act out violently, hoping that they can get the support that Karmelo got. We're going to see people say stupid things and do stupid things, hoping that they can get the support that Shiloh is getting. And, I mean, I think it's just going to go like tit for tat, if you ask me. That's just how I feel how things are going to go from here. Because it really feels like the only way I can explain it is like, have any of you guys ever been on a roller coaster? You know when you're going up the roller coaster, how it's like, as you're kind of climbing up before you do the big drop? That's kind of how I view these little situations, right? You have the Austin Metcalf situation. You have the Shiloh situation. And it's like we're all just rising to the top slowly before we take the big plunge. And, like, for example, this is kind of like an iPhone update, right? Let me put it in a way that I guess modern day people will understand. This is like an iPhone update. You know, our society has now been updated to where if there's some type of racially fueled thing going on, okay, we're going to attach a fundraiser to it and we're going to donate big, right? There's no going back to the old iPhone. There's no going back to the old life before people donated to murderers and before people donated to people that were saying racial slurs at the park, right? There's no going back to life before this. This is the new iPhone update. This is our new life update. So from here on out, you better believe that we're going to see a plethora of stories like this one. Right now, it's still kind of unique and surprising. Oh my God, Karmelo raised $560,000 from killing a white kid. And whoa, this lady just raised $400,000 from saying some bad words at the park. Whoa. And where we go from here, like, I don't know exactly where we go from here, but it's going to get wild, ladies and gentlemen. So go ahead and buckle up. Go ahead and strap in. Everyone on both sides, regardless if you hate me or you love me, regardless if you're a Karmelo fan or an Austin fan, regardless if you hate Shiloh or you support Shiloh, you better buckle up, because as I've been warning people for weeks, the floodgates are now open and there's no closing them. There's no closing them now. But with that being said, you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.